You're watching WYLN TV 35. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Julia Wiegand. Luzerne County Acting Manager Ramil Krokomo announced that she'll be resigning from her position. Effective May 20th, Krokomo will no longer return to her previous Chief County Solicitor Division Head position when Randy Robertson takes over as the new manager. Krokomo served Luzerne County residents for the past 12 years. Her resignation letter stated that she'll miss the people she worked with and gave her best wishes to the Luzerne County staff and Robertson. Before he takes over, the acting manager position will need to be temporarily filled for 3 weeks. Robertson is currently working in Colorado under contract. He's expected to make his way to Luzerne County the week of June 13th. A judge dismissed a temporary protective order against a candidate for Pennsylvania Lieutenant Governor this afternoon in Wayne County Court. Lieutenant Governor candidate Teddy Daniels claimed vindication after President Judge Janine Edwards tossed out the protective order against him this afternoon in Honesdale. His attorneys attacked the motivation and credibility of the candidate's wife, who testified that the 47-year-old was verbally abusive and made threats. Daniels' wife, who obtained a temporary protection from abuse order against him last week, testified that Daniels believed her family was cooperating in an unflattering magazine story about him and threatened to, quote, put a bullet in the head of one of the people he blamed. She then claimed that Daniels told her, quote, and if I find out you're in on it, you're going down too. Daniels is one of 9 candidates seeking the GOP nomination in the state's May 17th primary. A tractor-trailer slammed into a Schuylkill County home early this morning. The wreck took place just after 8 a.m. along East Main Street in Hagen's Township. The driver of the tractor-trailer was trapped inside for some time. No reports of any injuries inside of the home have been made either. There's also no word on what led to that early morning crash in Schuylkill County. One person is dead after a Thursday evening crash in Luzerne County. According to police, a motorcycle and car collided around 5 p.m. along Wyoming Avenue in Kingston. Authorities say the motorcycle driver, whose name has not been released at this time, was taken to the hospital where he later died. Part of Wyoming Avenue was closed for several hours after that deadly wreck in Kingston. A Salem Township man who pled guilty to setting the rage room business he ran on fire back in July won't serve any jail time. 32-year-old Michael Beck pled guilty to arson and endangering the welfare of children and was sentenced to 3 months house arrest followed by 4 years probation. The building's owner, Malcolm Plevyak, who's a Salem Township supervisor and Beck's stepfather, testified Thursday in support of Beck, pointing out that the rage room was fireproof, so it was cleaned and restored within days. A forensic psychiatrist also testified that Beck was under the influence of a combination of alcohol and the herb kratom when he set the fire, which can cause, quote, aggression, altered mental status, anxiety, and irritability. Court records state that Beck returned to his home after a fight with Plevyak, grabbed several bottles of alcohol, and set the rage room on fire. A Luzerne County judge ordered Beck to undergo assessments of his mental health and drug and alcohol use. A Nesquehoning man led state police on a pursuit while under the influence last week. Troopers initiated a traffic stop near North Railroad Street and Route 309 in Tamaqua on the evening of April 25th. The driver, 60-year-old Brian Bonner, failed to stop and a pursuit ensued, but the Ford Ranger became inoperable south of Route 54 in Nesquehoning. That's when Bonner attempted to flee on foot, but he was eventually apprehended and taken into custody. Police say Bonner appeared to be under the influence of controlled substances and alcohol. He was arraigned on charges of fleeing and attempting to elude police, DUI, possession of a controlled substance and drug paraphernalia, driving with a suspended or revoked license, and careless driving. He's locked up in Schuylkill County Prison, unable to post $25,000 straight cash bail. A Shenandoah man who admitted to having child porn images on his cell phone waived his right to a preliminary hearing on Thursday. 27-year-old Anthony Retzo was scheduled to appear before Magisterial District Judge Anthony Kilker on 100 felony counts of sexual abuse of children and an additional felony charge of criminal use of a communications facility. The investigation began back on December 26th when the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children received a report from Facebook that a file of apparent child pornography was uploaded on Retzo's account. The 17-second video depicted a nude female between 8 and 10 years old. A search warrant was served on April 25th on Retzo, whose cell phone was found to have 151 images and videos of apparent child pornography. He remains in Schuylkill County Prison on $50,000 straight cash bail. A Hunlock Creek man could spend 11 years behind bars for fatally striking a 7-year-old boy with his pickup and fleeing from police. 36-year-old Robert Gerald Ball allegedly struck and killed Gabriel Michael Beardley back on March 5th of last year, who was riding his bicycle on Bonneville Road in Huntington Township. After gathering enough evidence, officers set out on February 17th to arrest Ball on charges that he had violated a protection from abuse order. But police say he fled through a second-floor window and set his 2 pit bulls loose on officers, leaving 2 with minor injuries. Ball pled guilty Thursday to homicide by motor vehicle, simple assault, and resisting arrest, and is scheduled to be sentenced on June 23rd. A Mahanoy City pair is facing charges for attempting to escape police custody Wednesday morning. Police arrived to a garage at the rear of 225 East Center Street for report of trespassing. The door was open, and 50-year-old Tina Morgan and 45-year-old Eric Bettis were found inside with various drug paraphernalia laying around in plain sight. They told police they've been staying in the garage since the winter. Both were taken into custody and found to be in possession of heroin, meth, and various drug paraphernalia. Morgan also had 3 active warrants for her arrest from Schuylkill, Luzerne, and Lehigh counties. While being processed at the station, Bettis remained quiet as Morgan freed herself from her handcuffs, exited the station, and attempted to run, but she was immediately taken back into custody. The pair was charged with burglary, criminal trespass, escape, and possession of a controlled substance and drug paraphernalia. Both were arraigned and locked up in Schuylkill County Prison on $20,000 straight cash bail. A man pled guilty Thursday to third-degree murder after a crash killed his girlfriend in Scranton. 43-year-old John Jenkins pled guilty to causing the death of his girlfriend Tammy Fox back in August of 2018. Fox died after her car collided with a tree at the intersection of North Washington Avenue and Pine Street in the city. Jenkins admitted to cutting her brake lines so that he could make a pipe for smoking crack cocaine. Coming up on Wyln News, we stop by Blaze Alexander in Hazleton to check out their grand opening event, plus your favorite furry friends of the week. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the Wyln Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Ezra. I'm 5 years old, and it's gonna rain out. Bye.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today.
Penn State Hazleton is improving the lives of others, starting in our community.
Providing degrees that meet the needs of the area.
Fueling entrepreneurship and contributing more than $36 million annually to the state's economy.
Researching the health of our local ecosystem on the Susquehanna River.
Together, our impact keeps growing. backed by the strength of 24 campuses and 700,000 alumni.
How you doing, everybody? This is Ricardo Santos from J Zapata. You remember this old monster? Well, we're moving into a building. It's a big restaurant. Come and check us out. This is what we had on our menu. Regular burrito. We have the taco americano. Let's go with the Mexicans. They don't have a sombrero, but there you go. Corn tortilla, gluten-free. This is the birria tacos, enchiladas, nachos, flan, 3 leches. That is right. Come at 620 Hillside Drive, grand opening of J Zapata Mexican Restaurant. Whoop, whoop.
Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the midday WYLN News update, posted between noon and 2 p.m. Powered by Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton, the all-new emergency room at Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton is nearly double the size. Our updated facility features all private rooms, the latest technology, and a quicker, easier check-in process. Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton, your partner in ER care.
Blaze Alexander is hosting a grand opening until tomorrow, and WYLN's Mackenzie Ocker stopped by to get all the details.
Don't let the rain stop you from heading to Blaze Alexander. They're holding a grand opening for their new inventory you don't want to miss out on.
You know that you can order a new Mazda right now, come in and custom order it like you would like. Over at the Chrysler store with the cars they are giving them away to the point where there's 0% interest on some of the cars. At the GM store, there's also 0% available, and there's a huge selection of used cars.
Due to the pandemic, they were unable to host a grand opening for the new buildings that were purchased in August. Along with the many deals that are taking place, plenty of food and entertainment will be there for those who come.
We have Marco coming tomorrow with a jazz band. It's a quartet. We had Silk and Steel here yesterday. It's just a good time. We have Jay Zapata. Jay Zapata with his food truck. We also have some great desserts with apple dumplings, and we have some funnel cakes over at the other spot on Route 93.
The event will run today until 5 p.m. and tomorrow from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Recently, one lucky winner took home a Blackstone grill, and other prizes will be given away as well.
We're giving away a free helicopter ride. You can come enter the drawing for that. Blaze is going to take his personal helicopter and fly a couple people around. We're also giving away Yeti coolers with a drawing. It's going to be a big deal.
So make sure to head on out to Blaze Alexander this weekend for all the exciting events taking place. Reporting in Hazel Township for WYLN News, I'm Mackenzie Ocker.
Thanks, Mackenzie. And due to the cold and rainy forecast, the Troop N Sunny Day Camp is postponed for tomorrow, May 7th. PSP's Troop N Sunny Day Camp Cadet provides a free, fun-filled, and interactive day with law enforcement for individuals with special needs and their families. The new date is now scheduled for Saturday, September 17th at the Pocono Raceway from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Penn State Hazleton's Spring 2022 Commencement ceremony is tonight at 7 in the gymnasium of the Physical Education Building. Barring inclement weather, graduates will line up in the lobby of the Evelyn Graham Academic Building and process into the gymnasium. Tickets are not required for the ceremony, and seating is available on a first-come, first-served basis. Following the ceremony, students and their families, friends, or other guests are invited to gather with faculty over light refreshments in the Graham Building. If you've been thinking about adopting a pet, well, there's no time like the present. The SPCA Luzerne County has more breeds, shapes, and sizes of furry friends for you to check out this week. Everyone meet Diego. He's a little shy and bashful and came to the shelter as a stray. He can be a little standoffish with new people, but has been improving immensely since he came in. He's super playful, good with other dogs and cats, and just needs someone who will give him the time and commitment he needs. And up next is Munchkin. This young female adult tabby is ready to introduce herself and make you wonder how you ever lived without her. Call 570-825-4111 to come on down and check out these featured pets and more. You may just meet your new best friend and give them a well-deserved forever home. Coming up on Bloomsburg's News Choice, your Week in Review, plus leading the way into this week's final segment. And stay with us for everything else we have lined up for you later tonight on WYLN TV.
Dr. Alex here with another Feel Good Friday. Today we're talking about quality diagnosis. A quality diagnosis is something that explains why you're having these symptoms, not just a description of what those symptoms are. Low back pain is a diagnosis, but I mean, like, no shocker, you know you're in pain. It's not a very quality one. Sciatica is a description of sciatic nerve is inflamed or irritated, it's causing pain. Pneumonia, the deepest part of the lung is infected. What's causing the low back pain? You know, what's going on here? What's causing the sciatica? Do you have a disc bulge, herniation, contracted muscle over the nerve, neurological disease? What's going on? What's causing it? Solving these problems is, you have to know what's going on first, and just describing the events and then treating is not a good way to go. Pneumonia. Did you get pneumococcal? You know, what's going on? Are we getting strep that's gotten deep? What? You get the point. Quality care from quality diagnosis. Why? That'll help you to feel good.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazleton.
Have you ever experienced that super pushy salesperson who follows you all around? Not here.
Or wandered around that big box store looking for help in the appliance department, only to find the pink guy? Not here.
And we have an experienced, courteous sales staff here to help you find the perfect mattress, piece of furniture, or appliance with no pressure.
And don't forget, everyday low prices.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazleton.
Abby is still perfecting her sidekick, and her jab is just for show. But for Abby, this is a remarkable day, because Abby recently defeated a real foe, cancer, when she partnered with Lehigh Valley Riley Children's Hospital, a children's hospital close to home with more than 30 pediatric specialties. Take a bow, Abby. You deserve it. Lehigh Valley Riley Children's Hospital. Your health deserves a partner.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
We all need a midweek pick-me-up, and WYLN TV 35 is your home for good news on Wednesdays. All our good news stories will be printed in the WYLN TV Pennies Classified Good News Bulletin, distributed throughout the community and digitally posted on WYLN News Facebook page and on our website. If you have good news to share, contact us to be featured in our special Good News edition. Good events, good people, good jobs, all good news.
Monday. A Hazleton man is facing charges after leading police on a chase through the city's south side on Saturday night. Police were called to the area of South Wyoming and East Hawthorne streets for a report of 15 people riding quads and dirt bikes on the roadway. Officers observed a group in the area of South Pine and East Juniper streets and attempted to pull them over. The suspects took off and went through multiple lights and stop signs, endangering other drivers. Police caught up with 23-year-old Darian Pimentel Irizarry, who was taken into custody without incident. He was charged with fleeing and eluding in numerous traffic offenses. He was then taken to Luzerne County Prison for an arraignment. Tuesday. A Foster Township mother was charged by state police in connection with the death of her infant son. Troopers were called to 603 Hemlock Street in the early morning hours of February 6th for a report of an unresponsive 6-week-old infant male. His parents, 24-year-old Chad Tanner and 37-year-old Tiffany Ann Hasera, said they both engaged in the consumption of alcohol and marijuana the night before. Hasera also admitted to taking prescription drugs and passing out with the baby on her stomach. She awoke around 5:30 a.m. and noticed that the baby was pale. He was then taken to Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazleton, where he was pronounced dead. An autopsy revealed that amphetamines and meth were present in the victim's blood toxicology. Hasera was charged Tuesday with endangering the welfare of children and recklessly endangering another person. Wednesday. The date and venue were changed for the hearing of a former Tamaqua High School football player who's accused of assaulting another teammate. 18-year-old Zachary McGlinchey was scheduled to appear before Magisterial District Judge Stephen Bayer Tuesday afternoon in Tamaqua. Judge Bayer recused himself from the case, and the hearing was rescheduled to be heard by Magisterial District Judge Thomas Savinos on May 31st in Orwigsburg, McGlinchey was charged with simple assault and harassment after allegedly attacking a teammate back in November at the football house, which is owned by the school district. 3 other students were also expelled alongside McGlinchey, who could face a maximum penalty of 2 years in prison if he's convicted. Thursday. A Butler Township police officer was terminated for allegedly stealing over $600 worth of gas. 37-year-old Joshua Heck was a member of the police department for the past 5 years. He was arrested and charged on April 29th for stealing gasoline 2 to 3 times a week since last November. He allegedly filled gas cans at the township's filling station for use in his own personal vehicle. He was charged with theft and is out free on his own recognizance. Township supervisors voted this week to fire him and find a replacement as soon as possible. Meanwhile, Heck paid for the cost of the gas through a deduction from his last paycheck and is scheduled for a hearing in Luzerne County Court on June 6th. Friday. Luzerne County Acting Manager Ramil Krokomo announced that she'll be resigning from her position. Effective May 20th, Krokomo will no longer return to her previous Chief County Solicitor Division Head position when Randy Robertson takes over as the new manager. Krokomo served Luzerne County residents for the past 12 years. Her resignation letter stated that she'll miss the people she worked with and gave her best wishes to the Luzerne County staff and Robertson. Before he takes over, the acting manager position will need to be temporarily filled for 3 weeks. Robertson is currently working in Colorado under contract. He's expected to make his way to Luzerne County the week of June 13th. That's it for your week in review, here on WYLN News.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Renai, and trained comfort specialists, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
Memberships are available at the Valley Country Club in Sugarloaf. The new upgrades will leave you with a distinctive and unique experience unlike any other venue in Northeast PA. Call Frank Gradis 570-233-5328. Email vccpro@thevalleycountryclub.com.
If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Jura's Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in 610 North Broad Street, West Hazleton, 570-454-7229.
Hey, did you know WYLN posts news stories and other bonus content on social media all week long? The Weather Kids, Fresh from the Farm, Everyday Heroes, Let's Talk Sports, Feel Good Friday, daily news stories, and more. Visit WYLNTV.com, Facebook, and YouTube to check it out. WYLN, the local leader on social media. We're your local network. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969.
Join us later for Let's Talk Chiropractic when we talk about how Danelle went from sweating, nervous, terrified of her first adjustment to a happy, wonderful patient that she is today. Join us.
WYLN's going behind the scenes to learn more about the lives and goals of our local leaders. So, Terry Purcell's leading the way to wrap up this week's series. And welcome back to this week's final segment of Leading the Way with President of Lehigh Valley Health Network Northwest and Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton, Terry Purcell. So, Terry, Looking towards the future, what else is in store in terms of any ongoing projects or goals or things you hope to accomplish?
Well, I'm excited for the future. Hazelton is a great hospital. We've done very well in Hazelton over the last decade, and I look to continue that growth into the future. One of the nice things that we had a groundbreaking a couple of weeks ago, and we're building a $20 million cancer center right in front of the hospital campus. We'll be relocating our infusion services to this building, and we'll also be introducing radiation oncology for our patients. Right now, a significant number of patients leave the area for their radiation oncology, and you can imagine with those patients being so sick, it is very difficult. So that's probably the most immediate project we're working on. We're working on a strategic plan for the entire market. We need more services in the community. We have a lot of capacity, so we're going to expand at our coordinated health location at Station Circle. We look to expand at our Destin Center. We look to expand at our Health and Wellness Center. And we'd also like to look to expand outside of Hazelton and try to take as many services as possible close to the patients and eliminate the need for them to drive to those services.
Any personal goals?
Personal goals is there's a lot. I have a lot on the plate, but my personal goal is to develop a team around me. So when it comes time for me to move on, that the team could step up and someone could be my replacement down the road.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for sticking with us all week, and an even bigger thanks to our guest Terry here for coming in to give us a little bit of background.
Thank you very much.
Oh, anytime. Have a great weekend, everyone. Best of luck, best of life. Good night. And that's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest on our Facebook page, YouTube page, or at WYLNTV.com. Have a happy Mother's Day and stay with us. A look at today's weather is next, right here on WYLN TV.